Greetings, Patrick here with RetroTube uh, TV Jam. Okay, so we still haven't got a super proper title yet, but we're still working on it. But we're back. Actually, we're back a little early than I thought because we were supposed to be doing a different show, but that had to be pushed back. So I had to come in and fill the hole until my guest was able to come onto the show. Um, so we were trying to figure out what to watch, and I was sitting over here going like, well, what this be fun one to talk about? And so I got this at the library. I got this for actually I got this for really dirt cheap. It is a compilation. And I talked about it when I showed it off when I brought it home. But uh, the series we'll be talking about today is from 1977, and it's The Incredible Hulk. So The Incredible Hulk. We'll be talking about the episode Rainbow's Bridge. Rainbow's Bridge. Um, yeah, I don't want to go too far into the lore of the series because we'll be coming back to it, I'm sure. But of course, some of it should be talked about. The Incredible Hulk ran on CBS from 1977 to 82, and it had begun its run with some pilot movies, and then it ended its run with some other movies. So it had pilot movies, the series, and then a couple more. There would have been more than there. The last movie completed in this series was the death of the Incredible Hulk, and bitterly ironically, that really was the case, as star David Bill Bixby, who played David Banner. He was dying of cancer during that movie, and that was the last movie he did before he passed away. So the title of the movie fitted, even though sadly it did. There was plans to bring him back. That was not the end of the show, um, but he had been so sick that, and afterwards, in fact, that movie itself sort of hurried it up a little bit, and so they didn't bring him back. They said that the ratings weren't that good, so we're not going to bring it back. Plus, Bill passed away. We'll just leave it alone. So this series was really popular uh, with kids. Uh, this is a very popular with kids. I remember me and my brothers used to watch it. My brother and my sisters, and we used to watch this show. And but even back then, I was collecting comic books, and and I knew the TV show was not. I mean, you want to talk about the most inaccurate comic book? It would have been The Incredible Hulk. Because think about the time when it was made. Um, this is one of Marvel's first forays into TV. In fact, the Incredible Hulk, which came out right after Superman. Superman came out in '77, became very popular. Universal had control of the Incredible Hulk, and so they decided, and Spider-Man, and they decided to do series. So the Hulk came out first, and then we had Spider-Man come on out, and then we had Doctor Strange come out. The Incredible Hulk movies, after the series ended, featured the Mighty Thor, and also featured Daredevil, which starred Rex Smith. And in the last, after the death of the Incredible Hulk, after they brought him back, he was supposed to meet up with She-Hulk and Iron Man. That was the initial plan for the, But like I said, Bill Bixby was very, very ill, and the ratings were not that good for the death of the Incredible Hulk. So actually, I think those movies after the series came out on NBC, and NBC said no, they didn't want to do any more after that. So like I said, the Incredible Hulk starred Bill Bixby as David Banner. Lou Ferrigno was the Hulk, whereas the Hulk in the comics, when he turned into the Hulk, he was like 9 feet tall, 1,000 pounds. Well, Lou Ferrigno did a damn good job. I think he was like 280 when he did it. 280. I'm not sure how tall he was. I actually met Lou Ferrigno once at a Comic Con. Yeah, yeah, he's the Hulk. he he was and super nice guy, really nice guy. Of course, he was also deaf in one ear, I believe, or maybe two. But I know he could hear a little bit, so I think it's just one ear. And of course, when he spoke, he you could hear he was hearing impaired. They have a certain tone to the voice. But super nice guy, and he was the Hulk. And so the basic TV series is based with think of like Man on the Run type of deal. He's supposed to be dead. He had done an experiment with his wife. His wife died. He barely escaped with his life, and he had turned into the Hulk, and so now the series has him on the road, looking for a cure. He's looking for a cure or some way to control his alter ego, because every episode there'd be some sort of twice an episode, had to do twice, a minimum twice, where he hulked out, and then and then we had an intrepid reporter chasing after him. Um, yeah, so he had to go across the country, working all these odd jobs. Think of like the Fugitive without the Hulk. It's one of those type of series, like the Immortal, Route 66, traveling across the country, landing out wherever they land, and helping people whenever they can. And the fun thing was watching him come with all these different last names. They gave him for this episode. He's David Bishop. Uh, and one, I thought the one thing I saw him do once, he did a episode where he called himself David Bennett, which was the name of his wife at the time. I thought that was pretty cool. So David Bishop is this character's name for this episode, Rainbow's End, and the synopsis reads as such: David Bishop travels to the San Remus racetrack, a horse racetrack in the southwestern United States. While working at San Remus racetrack, he meets a Native American man played by Ned Romero, whose medicine herb brew help calms troubled racehorse Rainbow's Edge, in the hope that it can help him. But somebody does not want the horse to race. So he heard about this gentleman, Thomas Logan, who has created this potion that's helped, a natural, homeopathic remedy to help this horse settle down. And so when David reads that, he says, "Well, if you can calm down basically a out of control horse, what can it do for me?" So he jumps on the bus and heads down to the racetrack. And of course, once he gets there, he helps out. Once the horse gets a little bit frisky, he helps settle him down. And lo and behold, we see that the owner of the horse, Lawrence Henry, the Carroll III, notices that, and he says, "Well, I sort of owe you." And he's so David asked for a job, so he's an assistant to Thomas Logan. And while there, he also meets Jimmy Kelly and his daughter Kim Kelly. Wants to be a jockey, and Jimmy Kelly is working for Carroll, but he's bitter because he created this timing machine that he basically that Carroll basically bought for pennies on the dollar, and has gotten filthy rich off of it. So Jimmy is rather bitter about that, and he's up to no good. Um, so this is a weird episode because really nothing really happens. It's one of the slowest episodes I can remember seeing. When I watched it, I'm going like, wow, this is. He meets Thomas. He has this Hulk out moment when someone torches a barn, and David goes and tries to get the horses out, including Rainbow's Edge. but Rainbow's End is Frisky, and David knows this is the second attempt on the horse's life that he's seen, and so he has a hard time getting the Rainbow's Bridge out of the barn until a burning beam falls on him, and then he hulks out, and then he saves the horse. But what's really interesting is that after he does, he sits down, and then Thomas Logan sees him. He sees him go from the Hulk to back to David. He sees it. He sees the transformation. So now he knows David's secret. And had David had asked him, he says, do you think that you would try your potion on a human subject? I volunteer for that. And of course, Thomas at the time says, well, I don't think it's going to be really good for humans. But after he sees David hulk out and go back, he agrees to help him. So he gives him the potion, and then it goes to an extended dream sequence where it flashes back to his wife, who was played by Mary Hartley, which is, they show archive footage from her episode earlier. And so, he's having, basically, not sure if he's having a dream or a nightmare, but how's he going to wake up? Because I have a feeling that before, when he woke up hulking out, but this time he's calm and he's serene, and he mentions that to Thomas, says, hey, maybe we got something here. Well, anyway, they get ready for the big race. But unfortunately, their jockey, who had been hurt earlier when he was thrown from the horse, is suddenly exhibiting signs of a concussion. And David, being a medical doctor, but not telling anybody, diagnoses him and says, yeah, he can't run. He can't race. So, of course, this gives Kim a chance to ride the horse. But unknown to her father, who's now on the roof, because now he's going to go ahead and try to take out the horse. But he doesn't know that his daughter is riding it. So if he thinks he's just going to kill the horse, he probably have a good chance of killing his daughter, but he doesn't know. He's bitter. And so David sees him lining up a shot, and he tries to run up there as himself, but he gets tripped up in the crowd, and someone steps on his hand and pours hot coffee, and he hulks out. And he dashes up there. He stops Jimmy, but he doesn't do anything other than he helps Jimmy out by basically he takes the rifle that he had and he throws it. The Hulk throws it off the roof, so no one knows what's going. No one knows what he was going to do other than David. So after he does that, he jumps down from the building and he sprints away. And of course, Rainbow's End wins the big race, and that will help launch Kim's career. Yeah. So, like I said, this is not one of the better episodes of this series. I gotta tell you, the dream sequence is really too long. The gaps in the plot holes are so bad. We know that Jimmy Kelly is attempting to basically ruin the horse, kill the horse. No consequences for his actions. He burned down the barn. No consequences for that. He lined up to attempt to murder the horse and probably the jockey as well. With the Hulk throwing the rifle away, he avoids the trouble there. And Kim mentions to David when he takes off that Mr. Carroll is going to help her get her dad some help. Wow, some help after he tried to kill the horse 3 times and basically would have killed his own daughter. So he gets off scot-free. He gets, and of course, with the sign of the second Hulk, we also know too that the homeopathic cure is not going to work. And honestly, it never was. You see Thomas, he puts all these potions in this cup and everything else, but you're just looking at it going like, the guy got hit with gamma radiation, and you're going to put some herbs and spices in there and think that's going to stop that? I mean, it just wasn't really well thought out. The plot line, the script wasn't really well thought out. The episode was directed by Kenneth Gilbert. He did some sporadic work. He directed about a show a year for about 13 or 14 years. The writers for this episode were Karen Harris and Jill Donner. The cast, like I said, the cast was pretty good. You had Ned Ramiro, who was really, really good in his role. He appeared in dozens of TV shows. Gene Evans, he also too starred in a ton of shows, but he's probably best well known for the film called Steel Helmet. Craig Stevens, he was a staple on TV, and he even starred in a few TV series that people might remember him from, including Peter Gunn, which ran for years, for 114 episodes. He also starred in the cult classic The Deadly Mantis from 1957. So, yeah. And of course, Michelle Nichols, who played Jimmy Kelly's daughter, she didn't really do much after this. But yeah, this was okay. I mean, nothing really much to write home about. But we'll be back with another one soon, because I have a lot of episodes here, and I even have a TV movie or two we might sneak in here. But yeah, if you get a chance to get this series, you can go ahead and do that. I will put that down in the link below. I think you can probably get it from Amazon or from Universal Comcast. You probably might be able to get that from them. This came out not that long ago, actually. Not that long ago. I think this probably came out within the last, I would say, 5 to 7 years. I'll do some research on that. But thanks for watching RetroTube. We'll be back next week. Next week we'll be back with our good friend Ryan, and we will be going into Nickelodeon land, and I will be talking about Danny Phantom here. And I don't know who Ryan will be talking about, but we'll be talking about Danny Phantom, and that should be a lot of fun. All right, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button, drop a comment, and share us out. Share us out will be really helpful. And if you have your own suggestions for a TV show, well, drop them down in the comments. And if we have the show, we have a lot of shows. We'll try to get something that you suggest, and let you know that we did so. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace. Now the fun part.